I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go ahead and consider a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Sean, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Aaron's,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Yes.
Commissioner Poppins.
Yes.
Commissioner Landine.
Yes. Move on to our consent agenda. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Yes, I'll second it.
Thank you. Sean, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Aaron's,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Yes.
Commissioner Poppins,
Yes.
Commissioner Landine.
Yes. We'll move on to our opportunity for public comment. If there's anyone in the audience that's with us today who'd like to address the board, come on up. Just state your name and address. You'll be
Scott Mon-
limited to 5
Good morning.
minutes. Good
Scott
morning.
Montgomery, 320 Elm Street, Fairview, South Dakota. I'm just here to encourage you to remove the ballot box that sits outside the courthouse here. I think it opens our elections to less than what they should be. I think it offers opportunity for cheating, and I think it's real simple to take a few bolts out of the ground, throw that thing in the dumpster. And I also passed out a flyer inviting you all to come to a presentation this Saturday up at Oak Hills Baptist Church about what has been found in the state on election integrity. I think it opened your eyes. That's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Anybody else? If not, we'll move on to regular business. First item on our agenda is to authorize request for proposal for services of construction manager at risk and architect/engineering services. Bill?
Thank you. The proposal that's for the architect and the engineer have been the same as it was in the at the last meeting. The CMR proposal there, the dates have changed in it. I also have a request before you take it up to consider some additional language to both of them. The additional language would be on page 1. It is under the subsection that talks about the Citizens Advisory Committee and the county approval. I'd like to change that language to the Citizens Advisory Committee will review and recommend CMR to the county for selection and approval prior to step 2. That just ensures that it is clear that the advisory committee is advisory and that the power to select and approve rests solely with the commission.
And that's the Citizens Advisory Committee that our owners rep is putting together.
Yes, it's the one that.
All right,
Yes.
thank you for that clarification. Anything else?
No, those are the two matters that are before you at the moment.
Excuse me.
Does anybody have any questions for staff or Mr. Strasburg? He's here today.
Mr. Strasburg, how will the membership of the Citizens Advisory Committee be determined?
There's a group that's been formed, and I think our recommendation is to put it in your hands in terms of approving the members on it, and because my view on it is they're an advisory board to you. So that would, seems like the group you've got put together seems like it was a pretty diverse group, and that's usually what we look for.
And the commissioner representatives that are on that right now are myself and Commissioner Aaron's, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Schmidt is on that committee.
No, he's not.
This is
At the last meeting,
We're talking about the group that will, the Citizens Advisory Committee that I understand Mr. Strasburg is talking about is the Courthouse Improvement Committee, correct?
that is not correct.
Well, that's why I'm asking these questions.
I think what we'd propose on it is that that we have different members of the commission be involved at different times. For example, on the selection of confirming the architect and the contractor, that's when we recommended Commissioner Landine and Commissioner Aaron's. And then as it moves through, I think all of you should be involved in the committee in one form or another, one time or another.
And then, so to dig into the issue of the Citizens Advisory Committee portion, who are the citizens that will be on that?
If I have the list in front of me here,
Okay. Who is that?
I can, just one moment here.
Wasn't it Larry Nelson and Paul Paulson? And was Mr. Skiles on it as well?
Yes. Mhm.
That was my recollection.
And I think that's it. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought, so
Okay.
thank you for that. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Strasburg. So, the RFP uses the term it's a request for proposal for construction manager and then a request for proposal for architect engineer. It says that it wants proposals regarding pre-schematic, pre-construction and construction services for a new ground-up Justice Center facility. You know, in our South Dakota statutes, we use the term courthouse and jail. And in particular, this matters because there could be different funding mechanisms and different approval mechanisms for this. We don't use the term Justice Center in South Dakota statutes. So when participants are responding to this and they are going to provide a proposal, what will that mean to them?
So in the initial paragraph here on page 1, we define the components as it may consist of all or some of the following components, such as courts, state's attorney offices, clerk of courts, public defender, other county offices, sheriff's office, and a jail. And then when we get to the compensation section on it, and specifically on the form that we ask them to respond to on the design side of it, we break it out. So there is because there may be a different fee for those different components.
So I just want to make sure there's crystal clear understanding here that the term Justice Center could mean just a courthouse, but it could mean all of these different individual components
Correct.
Together as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And just because we're asking for the RFP on this doesn't necessarily mean this is what'll happen in the end, correct?
In this case, that's absolutely correct, because I think you guys need to know, all of you need to know, what the costs are, pros, cons, those type of things. So yeah, we'll equip you with that information.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I have a question for legal counsel that I'd like to ask in executive session. So I'm going to ask for an executive session to get that question answered.
Is that your motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I could further clarify the motion, Madam Chair. I'd ask for executive session under SDCL 1-25-2, sub 1, sub 3, sub 4, sub 1, and sub 3.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Sharon, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Aaron's,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Yes.
Commissioner Poppins. Commissioner Landine.
No. Why don't we take how much time do you need, Joel, to talk to council?
Oh, probably 10 minutes.
Why don't we take a 10-minute recess so that you can do that? So we'll be in recess. It's now, we've got 2 RFPs in front of us. Right now, if nobody has any other questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the RFPs.
supposed to do, but nobody can tell you how to do it. Now you know how I feel. But you know what? We're gonna get it done anyway.
Oh, we're trying to see if we can move forward on the RFPs.
I'm asking for our, motion to approve the RFPs.
Commissioner Aaron's.
We went into recess for 10, 15 minutes. I'm not gonna sit here all morning waiting. Is there a motion?
I will move to, motion to move forward with the RFPs.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commissioner Schmidt, are you online?
Yes, I am, but you evidently can't hear me.
Now we can.
I am on.
I
Okay.
can hear you now, so we're
I will
entertaining.
second. Yeah, I made the motion, but I'll second this one.
Oh, okay. We didn't hear your first, so you get the second on it.
All right.
Any further discussion?
I would offer that, if, Jim, if you want to let them know that we're voting, that would be fine, to bring them back.
Yes, I listen.
Okay,
You were talking to me, Commissioner
Yes,
Hudson.
yes. Gibbon.
We're gonna replace and upgrade water pipes in your counties that are contaminated with lead. Because we know that no amount of lead is safe for our children. It poisons our.
Sounds like you're keeping busy, Commissioner Schmidt.
Well, we are in the session right now, and the president will be speaking here in probably about 20 minutes. And so security is pretty high. And
I thought that was there to
standing
protect
here
you.
No, I'm standing here with secret agents right now in the back of the room.
Very good.
This has been a very, very enlightening convention concerning counties, and I'll have a full report for you when I get back.
Awesome.
all right, we have a motion and a second to approve the RFPs. I've asked for any further discussion on those issues. Is there any further discussion? If not, Sean, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Aaron's,
No.
Commissioner Gibbon,
No.
Commissioner Poppins,
Yes?
Commissioner Schmidt,
Yes.
Commissioner Landine.
Yes. Move on to item 2 on our agenda, which is to appoint members to the panel to review the request for proposal. We've discussed this a little bit earlier, and initially, it's my understanding that those members are going to be Commissioner Aaron's, myself, Paul Paulson, who's here with us today, Chad Skiles, who is here with us today, and Larry Nelson, who I'm guessing is up at session right now. So any questions or discussion about that?
I would offer a motion to
You-
approve that panel.
Thank you. What
I'll
would it-
second.
Thank you, Commissioner Schmidt. Any further discussion? If not, Sean, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Aaron's,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Yes.
Commissioner Poppins,
Yes.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Yes.
Commissioner Landine.
Yes, motion carries. Consider a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Sean, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Aaron's,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Yes.
Commissioner Poppins,
Yes.
Commissioner Schmidt, Commissioner Landine.
Yes. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.